Are you planning to stay this time? And if you stay, let me stay.
Welcome to the Gridiron Boys podcast. I am your host, Evan Lopez.
And I am your host, Aaryn Ross.
And here we go. You know, we are finally at the SEC. We've covered the four major conferences.
Sorry, I was checking to see how fat I looked.
Yeah,
Them cupcake comments got me, man.
When you're talking about Indiana fans, they were ruthless. But I am not mad. Any engagement is,
Good engagement.
perfect. Exactly. It's perfect. It's perfect for us. We want all the engagement we can get. But I know it's been taking us a while. It's just the research has just been, super daunting and laziness and with a lot of
Procrastination.
combined, it just makes it way worse. So we finally got it done, and expect us to be weekly uploads at least during the season. We'll have more to talk about. It's the off season. We have preseason coming up. I want to talk about preseason. We'll see if Aaryn is down to talk about it. It's not going to be super in depth. It's just going to be what we see and just like how happy we are that football is back. So we're both brothers. This is our podcast, The Gridiron Boys. Follow us on TikTok. Follow us on YouTube. And all of that would be greatly appreciated. So let's get started. Aaryn is also a Texas fan. I want to throw it out the way. I have no involvement here. I'm a Big 12 guy, Texas Tech fan, so I'm out of here. So this is going to be a really important episode. So I want Aaryn to start off his perfect SEC prediction.
No, don't do that
Don't start
perfect
it.
bullshit. Don't do that perfect bullshit. This is a cannibalistic conference as well, I believe. But yeah, my 16 team to kick it off is Kentucky. I mean, I tell you what, I was struggling to find some people to talk about. All right, yeah, okay, well, ready? So my number 16 team is Kentucky. I was really struggling to find anybody to talk about here. I mean, they got Mark Stoops, he's all right. I mean, I got nothing negative to say about the coach. He's decent. I think he wants out of there. I think he's ready to go. I'm pretty sure he tried leaving a couple years ago. He ended up having to come back. But they do have a running back, Dante Dowdle, junior, 6'2", 227, 614 yards for 12 TDs. I mean, he's gonna have to carry the load on offense. I mean, they really don't have much. They got a defensive back, Jordan Lovett, senior, 6'2", had 63 total tackles, 36 of them being solos and 2 interceptions. So a little bit of a bright spot on the defense. Nothing crazy. And then you had Alex Afari Jr., linebacker. He's a senior, 62 total tackles, 35 solos, only 1.5 sacks, but he had 11 tackles for losses, so I kind of like that. That's a guy that can get back there and disrupt the play. But other than that, I really don't have much to talk about with Kentucky. They're pretty lackluster in my eyes. So 16 Kentucky.
No, that's fair enough. Kentucky is very not at a very good point in their football program, but I am going to follow up. My number 16 is going to be the same as last year. I'm going to go Mississippi State. You have Coach Jeff Levy. He had one year of coaching under his belt. They went 2-10 under his first year, so I don't really know. I don't have many expectations coming from Jeff. I can't blame it on Jeff, though. It's his first year trying to get the program started. Totally understand it. I don't think it's going to improve that much. So Mississippi State, I'm going to get my phone out. This is where all the stats are for me. I'm not an expert. I don't have people feeding info in my ear, like those talk shows. I really wish we could find a guy. So if you want to do that for free,
Emphasize free.
Free. No, not even that. Like free, yes. Yeah. Okay, so let's get down.
I'm not going to pay you shit. You're going to do it for the fun of it.
There's not even going to be a cent. All right. Okay, just want to get it out there. Okay, so they were 2-10, like I said, 0-8 in conference. That's really tough. They were 2-5 at home, 0-5 in the road. So this is how we're going to start this off. They're at Southern Mississippi, and then they got a home game against Arizona State. which that's a tough non-conference team to play. And then they have a home game against Alcorn State, and then a home game against Northern Illinois, and then also another home game against Tennessee, an away game against Texas A&M, another away game against Florida, a home game against Texas, an away game against Arkansas, a home game against Georgia, and away Missouri, and another home in Ole Miss. To be honest, that is a pretty tough schedule for you being at the bottom of the conference, but that's probably every team in the SEC. So they were 13th in offense, 16th in defense, so not really good on the stat wise. But I wanted to talk about their tight end, Seydou Traore. I might have said that wrong. I apologize if I butchered. He's a redshirt senior this year. He transferred earlier in his career. I don't remember where. But he had 34 receptions, 361 yards, and 1 touchdown. He can honestly be that playmaker. He finished second on his team in receptions last year, but he wasn't really necessarily a featured target for Mississippi State. But the scheme was simplified for Michael Van Buren. When he did make the grabs, they weren't all just dump-offs. Some of it were. He showed some big play potential. I think this is a guy... you need help. If you got a younger quarterback, a tight end is a very valuable option in the offense. And then I wanted to pair him up with Jordan Mosley, a receiver, redshirt senior. He had 23 receptions, 405 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And then on the defensive side, I want to talk about Zachary Tillman. He is an inside linebacker. He is a junior this year. Last year, he had 17 solo tackles, 3.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 1 INT, 3.5 tackles for losses, and 2 passes to defend. Amidst all the awfulness, Tillman began to emerge as a player to watch and for people to get excited about in Mississippi's State fans. He bursted on the scene against Texas with a half a sack, a fumble recovery, and a blocked punt. That is crazy from an inside linebacker to have all those in one game. He recorded a pick against Texas A&M, and as a backup, he made some big plays in every opportunity he got. So I'm expecting Zachary Tillman to kind of go crazy for Mississippi State this year. Their defense was awful, so maybe he can be another bright spot again. And I also wanted to highlight that they have a ton of transfers coming in. That whole team is new. So I think it's tough to have that when you're in the SEC and you're already at the bottom. I think it's going to be tough, especially with that Jeff Lebby, one-year coach. It's going to be tough for Mississippi State to get a hold of this, hold of the conference. And that's my 16 team, Mississippi State. I kind of had a lot to talk about for them being 16, huh?
Yeah,
I just realized.
I kind of like them a little bit.
That's
Give me
fair
a second.
enough.
I'm going to change my light up a little bit.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll keep it entertaining for y'all guys while he's changing. I will say I was not super excited for the SEC. I just know that these fans are about to go ballistic. If I even put their team one rank below than they think, they're definitely gonna let us know. So if you want to see that, go check us out on TikTok for real. There's a lot of animosity in those comments.
My 15 team is, I think they had a good run last year, but it might have been a little bit of lightning in a bottle. I hope not. I really hope not, but I have Vanderbilt. I think they lost quite a bit. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know you will in the comments. They'll tend to like to try and blast my ass. So, they do have the man, the myth, the legend, Diego Pavia coming back as a graduate. Threw for 2,300 yards, 20 TDs to 4 interceptions, rushed for another 200 yards and 8 TDs. I wrote down in all caps, the truth. The man can win. He proved it. First time Vanderbilt has ever beaten Alabama. Ever in the history of that program. And that man led them to it. They also have a tight end, Eli Stowers. He's also a graduate. He's 6'4". He had 638 yards for 5 TDs. Looking like he's going to be Diego's best option offensively. And I do like a good tight end. I mean, they're always fun to watch, you know. They also have a safety, CJ Hurd, had 82 total tackles, 53 of them being his, and one forced fumble. So, I mean, I don't, I'd have to, hold on, let me look at their schedule real quick. I mean, they go at Virginia Tech, at South Carolina, at Alabama, at Texas, at Tennessee. Got to play LSU.
That's a
Yeah,
tough
yes.
road.
Yeah, I mean, and they get, let's see, Alabama, LSU, Missouri, Texas, Auburn. That is all in a row. So one, two, three, four, five. Five back to back. Absolute not easy games. So yeah, my 16 team or my 15 team is Mississippi or Vanderbilt.
Yeah, and I kind of want to highlight before we move on. Um, I was gonna say with an away game against a non-conference Virginia Tech, that is a shitty place to play. Like exactly, that would be the last team I'd want to play, right? Non-conference, not the last team. But it's one of those. It's one of those that I'm like, you know what?
So
I
it tells
think
me
I'll
like
pass.
Ohio State, Oregon, um,
That's fair. I meant like not like a
places like that.
powerhouse. Yeah, I
Clemson.
misspoke. You're right. Yeah, fucking
But I see what you're saying. Like the environment is going to
yeah.
be absolutely nutty.
Yeah, they're kind of like a Nebraska. Like, but I think Nebraska's going to be good. But that environment is just it don't matter if they're good or bad. That's going to be a team. Tough. My 15 team was your last team. I'm going to go with Kentucky. Aaryn has some thoughts. Aaryn has some thoughts about Mark Stoops. You think he wants to get out? And that's fair. Wasn't his whole career at Kentucky? I believe so. Um, I think his first year was 2015. If I'm right, I don't know. I have looked at a lot of stats. I don't know, but let's go. They were 4-8 last year, 1-7 in conference, so barely above Mississippi State. 3-5 at home, 1-3 on the road, and I'll get you the schedule right now. We got 3 home games in a row. We got Toledo, Ole Miss, Eastern Michigan, 2 away games in a row, South Carolina, Georgia, and then we got a home game Texas and a home game against Tennessee. Then you got a away game in Auburn, and then you got a home game Florida, a home game Tennessee Tech, away game Vanderbilt, and away game Louisiana. Last year they were 15th in offense and 10th in defense. But there's a guy I wanted to and let me know if I can't really write down who you've talked about. So let me know if you've already talked about him. Offense they got Dante Dodwell or
Who's this?
Dawdle.
Kentucky?
Yeah, Kentucky.
Yeah, I did
Sorry,
Dante Dottle.
Dawdle. Okay, got you.
That's my only
Um,
offensive player.
yeah, he is a running back. Aaryn already got the stats. He transferred from Nebraska. Kentucky actually struggled mightily in the short yardage situations in 2024, but with this addition, I think that this is going to be a great improvement. He is one of the best short yardage running backs out there in college football, and it was a great pickup for Kentucky to get him. And then I also put down I have no star power in this offense.
None.
So it's going to be tough. I don't now I'm thinking about it. Damn, I should have put them bitches last, but I didn't. So we're going to roll with it. But I understand no star power, but I think with Dante it could give him at least
You
not
still
last
can.
again.
You still can.
I'm not changing it. I'm not fucking leaving.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Yeah, exactly. And then defense, Cam Olds, uh, offensive linebacker. He transferred from Kent State. He had 25 solo tackles, 6 sacks, 1 INT, 7 tackles for losses, 3 quarterback hurries, and 1 pass deflected. And then we got Jordan Lovett,
I talked about Jordan Lovett.
safety. Aaryn already talked about him. Thank you very much. And I also wanted to highlight number 90, McQueese Humphrey Grace. He was a late bloomer. He figured it out by cutting his teeth at the FCS level. I forgot. I think this is from On 3, so thank you very much for this. He was a decorated pass rusher. He had 9.5 sacks, 17 tackles for loss, last season at South Dakota, and he also is poised to become a star, it says, for this Kentucky defense. So they might have a little bit of star power on the defensive side, but offense, I think you only have your running back. And that's my number 15 team, Kentucky.
All right. My number 14 team is Mississippi State. I think they're going to have a little bit better of a year than they did last year. And here's why. I mean, they got a quarterback, Blake Shapen, graduate, threw for 1,000 yards, eight touchdowns, one interception, but he was injured last year. I think he should be a boost to Mississippi State's offense. Guy who can generally sling the rock and that's cool. Um, genuinely sling the rock and get the ball moving around. And then they have a UT transfer. We transferred from UT to Oklahoma to now here. Brennan Thompson. I don't know if you've heard that name, from Spearman, Texas.
Spearman, okay.
Yep, senior, 5'9", 170, 230 yards for 2 touchdowns, but boy, fast. He dominated state track, the state track meet in the 200 and 100 meter, won them both by, I'd say, at least 25 meters. Kicked the shit out of everybody. Was never in question, so I'm really liking that. I think he can really get out of his shell at Mississippi State. It's probably hard for him to see the field at Texas. It's probably hard for him to see the field at OU. 203 yards for 2 TDs. I don't think he was really seeing the field. I should have wrote down how many receptions, but they also have Isaac Smith, defensive back. 127 total tackles, 46 solos. I believe he's a safety. 1.5 tackles for losses and a forced fumble. That I like that. That's a guy who's willing to get his nose dirty, stop the run. And then Zachariah Tillman, but you had already talked about him, so I'm really not going to go into depth with him. But I think they're looking a little bit better than they were last year, and I do expect that to produce on the field. And we will. I guess only time will tell. But yeah, my 14 team is Mississippi State.
Got you. My 14 team is also going to be, sad to say, Vanderbilt. They were 7-6 last year. This was Vanderbilt's first winning season since 2013. Let's think about it. Clark Lee led this Vanderbilt team to his first winning season since 2013. He was named the SEC Coach of the Year by his peers, so I want to give a big shout out to Clark Lee. But I think this year we're not going to have the same success. Kind of like Aaryn said, lightning in a bottle. I wanted to highlight Eli Stowers, which he's already talked about as a tight end. I think is going to be huge for David. Diego, sorry. I left the quarterback to Aaryn. Aaryn loves his quarterbacks, so I got to sometimes stay away. And I also wanted to highlight Cedric Alexander. He is a running back junior. He had 164 attempts, 586 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Just wanted to highlight him. And then I also wrote down on my notes that the only lineman that is a projected starter that is not a transfer is Chase Mitchell. So you're having a whole new offensive line group, but a guard. So that's going to be tough. That's why I think like Aaryn said, tons of losses, I believe, as well. I might be wrong as well, maybe. But
I hope I'm wrong.
You have yeah, exactly. But it's like you have a whole new offensive line, it's going to be tough, especially in the SEC. You want some guys that, have been in the program, know what you're running and stuff. But rooting for Chase Mitchell, just wanted to write him down. On the defense, I got Randon Fontanetta. I butchered that.
Great job.
I was close. It says safety/offensive linebacker, so I'm kind of want to see his tape.
Offensive linebacker?
or outside linebacker. Sorry,
Oh, I was like,
Jesus.
what the fuck is that?
It
Did
said
they create
safety.
a did they create a position for this man? Holy shit.
Listen, we're doing this shit late, guys. Oh, my bad. I fucked that up. It's a
I'm
safety and
doing shit
outside.
late
Yeah,
at
oh yeah.
midnight.
There it is. Yeah, it's safety and outside linebacker. I just I don't really see that in all the different teams we did in the other three conferences. He
What
had
was the last
41
one?
solos.
Isaiah, what was his name? Arizona. Isaiah Simmons?
Yeah, maybe I don't remember. I had to go through it again. A lot of names have been on these pages. To be
No, no,
honest with
no.
you.
He's in the NFL. He's in the NFL.
Oh, Isaiah,
Is it Isaiah
the
Simmons?
Cardinal.
Simmons? Yeah, he was a
He was a
Cardinal.
Cardinal. Yep. Yeah, I think so. I don't remember where he came from, to be honest, but he was really
I think he played for
re-
LSU.
was it because he was really high
Yeah,
in the
he's supposed to be a
draft.
freaking monster,
Yeah,
bro, and
he kind of fell
just
off
didn't
in
do
the
anything.
draft.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this guy had 73 total tackles, 3.5 sacks, and 1 INT. Also wanted to highlight Martell Height, a cornerback slash wide receiver. He's a junior, 26 solo tackles, 33 total tackles, 1 forced fumble, 2 INTs, and 4 passes deflected with 2 tackles for loss. So that is Vandy, my number 14 team. Now we're starting to get into the thick of this shit. Here we go.
I hear the mobs forming.
Oh, here
I,
we go.
I
What
could
are,
see
what
I
are they
could
going
see
to say now?
I could see the torches outside my window right now.
I
I
don't
think
think
that
we should
I
mention
think they're
Cupcake.
I think they're coming for me because at 13 I have Missouri.
Oh, shoot.
Hot take, yeah. I'm gonna get crucified online, but hey, it is what it is.
Y'all ain't doing it. We
Can't be
have
worse than
to.
my cupcake addiction apparently. So I don't even fucking like cupcakes. um, but no, I mean it's nothing really against Missouri. I just think they're very inconsistent. I mean, they do got what Kansas, they got South Carolina, they do have Bama, they're at Auburn, at Crazy, at Vandy. Um, they have A&M, at OU, at Arkansas. So I mean, it's not an easy road, is what I guess I was more seeing. They do have a dude from Penn State who transferred over, Bo Prabula, the quarterback. I'm gonna read his stats, but just know they're nothing crazy because he would obviously the backup. I mean, so he had 275 yards for 5 TDs to 1 interception. I mean, to me that's not terrible. You know, had another 242 rushing yards for 4 rushing touchdowns. Um, he is a great dual threat quarterback, great potential. Now, will he realize his potential? I don't know. I don't know if Missouri is going to be the team to unlock that. They do have a receiver, Kevin Coleman Jr., almost 1,000 yards for 6 TDs. I think he'll be a good replacement for Luther Burden. I don't know if you can that he's. We go back to Camp Scattaboo. I don't know if you're necessarily replacing that production that Luther Burden had, but I think this is a good step towards that. But only time will tell with that offense. I just don't trust it. We got Jalen Catalone, Catalon. I don't know. Defensive back, 96 total tackles, 61 solos. It's a lot of solos. 5 tackle for losses, 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 5 interceptions, 1 for a touchdown. I mean, that's a hell of a defender, hell of a defensive back right there. I really like those numbers. I believe he was a safety. I started writing it down a little later, but I believe he was a safety, and so you need to look out for that guy. They also have a linebacker, Josiah Trotter, had 92 total tackles, 36 of them being solos, 4 tackles for losses, half a sack, 1 interception, all while being a sophomore or a freshman. So I think they got a good little defense going. I just don't know if they'll be able to keep up with the rest of the SEC. So that's why I have them at 13.
Yeah. I think I might also be okay. I was looking at like what overall I had this team. So they went. Okay, so my number 13 team, and maybe I don't think I'm gonna get too crucified. I got Arkansas. I think Sam Pittman is coming the end of his tenure at Arkansas. The fans have not been pleased with him, and I think they are gonna drop
Paterno makes
again.
his return.
Oh, sorry. There we go. Sorry, my little thing was going crazy. You know, they went 7-6 last year, and I actually predicted them going 6-6 this year. So not too much of a drop. It's just when you're already on the hot seat, a one game difference can really make the difference. Personally, if they won their bowl game, I believe, but it's they want more from this program. I just because I love their quarterback, by the way, Arkansas. But it's like you're in the SEC, dude, and you've had it's just tough. If you were at any other conference, I think you could do very well. It's just with all the teams at the teams that you were ahead, they have gradually gotten better. Besides about three, I think this was a big year for the SEC to improve. You know, like teams like Florida and LSU and stuff. And I think honestly, it's just going to be tough for Arkansas to move forward. And I think it's time for him to head out. I think Sam Pittman's time is coming up soon. I wanted to highlight their schedule here. They got two home games in a row: Alabama A&M and Arkansas State. You got an away game against Ole Miss, and then Memphis. A home game against Notre Dame, an away against Tennessee, home game against A&M, home game against Auburn, home game against Mississippi State, and away game LSU, away game Texas, and home game Missouri. As I was looking at their conference play, I think there's only three games that maybe they can win. I'm being for real. Mississippi State should be a dub. Auburn, it's a toss-up. It can go either way, in my opinion. Missouri is also another toss-up. But the rest, you got Ole Miss. I think you're losing that one. Tennessee's a loss. A&M, I would say it's a loss. Texas is a loss, and LSU's a loss. That's already five. You're going to have the same conference record, in my opinion, 3-5, I believe. Yeah. So
That's
it's
if
just
Memphis doesn't sneak one out, Auburn doesn't sneak it out.
exactly. Those are just iffy games. Auburn and Missouri. They can go
Did you
either
say
way.
Notre Dame?
No, I was just talking about conference play, but no, Notre Dame, I think it's definitely a loss.
Notre Dame.
Also, I wanted to highlight they lost to Oklahoma State last year, if we can remember that.
He could be. Hey, he could be gone by Notre Dame or Tennessee, dude.
You think so? Think that early? I mean, I can see it.
So that's 5 to 6 weeks in, man.
It's tough because Taylon Green, a guy I wanted to talk about. This dude is a stud, in my opinion. Just watching him, because Texas Tech actually played Arkansas in the bowl game. That dude, oh God, he was tearing us apart. Jesus. His stats doesn't look too crazy, but watching him on the field is completely different, in my opinion. He had 3,154 yards, 15 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. And this is what I'm more excited about was his running ability. He had 156 attempts, 602 yards, and 8 touchdowns. This dude is a playmaker when he has to be. Arkansas also retooled their offensive line and also a whole new receiver room. Like I said, tons of transfers. I just don't think it's going to bode well for him. One of the receivers I wanted to talk about is Cam Shanks from UAB. He is a sophomore this year. He had 62 receptions, 656 yards, and 6 touchdowns. On the defensive side, I've got Cameron Ball. He is actually one from Arkansas, not a transfer. He had 22 solo tackles, 1.5 sacks. Not too crazy, but I had to put someone down. And then I got Xavier Sorey Jr. Soray Jr. He's a linebacker. He is a senior, redshirt senior. He had 40 solo tackles, which equaled out to 99 total tackles. He had 2 sacks, 1 INT, and this is something I was really excited about. 9.5 tackles for losses. I'm not asking for anything better. That's amazing. And 3 quarterback hurries. So that guy was getting in the backfield plenty of times. So having him and hopefully, I don't hate Arkansas. I just don't see it. And that's my number 13 team.
Well, I'll be with you. My number 12 team is Arkansas. I would go into depth on them, but you literally hit everybody I had. So, my number 12 team, Arkansas. Moving on.
Sorry, it's just I
It's
had a
all
lot to
good.
talk about. I
You're
love their
good.
quarterback, dude. Big fan.
Yeah, Taylor
Okay,
Green. I
and
love me
then
some Taylor Green.
exactly. Okay, what's funny is we flip flopped. My number 12, I got Missouri. There we go.
There it
Yeah, they
is.
were 10. Yeah, they were 10-3 last year. Just looking at the team, it's just I'm not too excited about it as much. They do have some studs on there, I will say. They just, did you talk about their schedule? I don't remember if you went over it. I don't
Missouri.
think you did. Yeah.
Yeah, I said South Carolina,
Yeah.
Bama,
Okay. So
Auburn, Vandy, A&M, OU, Arkansas.
exactly. So you've already talked about it. Let's go. They were 11th in offense, 5th in defense last year. They have 19 transfers. We also got Kevin Coleman Jr. He is a receiver. He had 74 receptions, 932 yards, and 6 touchdowns. That's pretty exciting there. And then I wanted to talk about Ahmad Hardy, our running back. Um, yeah, for some reason I didn't put his stats, but just remember that name. Okay, so if you want to fact check me or not, not even fact check me, just look at the stats. I wrote them down for a reason. I don't remember why. I got defense. I got Jalen. You already talked about this guy, Kent Alone. I remember you struggling on that name.
For who? Missouri?
Kent Alone, yeah, Missouri. He is
Yeah.
a safety, a graduate. So Aaron already talked about it. And then Tristan Newson, linebacker. He had 39 solo tackles, 71 total tackles, 6.5 tackles for losses, which is also something I love. 4 quarterback hurries, 1 pass deflected, 1 sack, and 1 forced fumble. So he was everywhere on the field. And that's that's it. Missouri and Arkansas are basically in the same spot for me and Aaron's list. Now, okay. I think I'm getting hate on this next one. Looking at it, I'm not.
Oh,
Oh shit.
oh, I know I am. Because if there's one thing I know, it's that it is 12:09, and Oklahoma still sucks. All right, fuck those guys. The only good thing they got for him is John Mateer. The rest of it is all ass. Cheeks, 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 cheeks. That's why we're going to be clapping them on week 6. All right, I ain't worried about it. Um, all right, in all seriousness, though, fuck Oklahoma. But in all seriousness, I do have them at 11. They have John Mateer, which I think is going to be one of the more interesting stories to follow this year. Junior threw for about 3,000 yards, 29 touchdowns to only 7 interceptions. He was one of the best in the nation. I believe he was in the Heisman race. He didn't make it to New York, but I think he was close. Um, Real good. They got his offensive coordinator to come over from Wazoo with him. Um, your issue though is very simple. It's Brent Venables. I mean, dude's a defensive mind. He's not a head coach. He's the one that keeps them where they're at. I do believe he did pass over offensive play calling over to, I can't remember his name, the dude who came over with John Mateer. So we'll see how that goes. I know they got a lot of turnover over there, but they do have a running back, Jaden Ott. He did get hurt last year, but in 2023 he ran for 1,300 yards and 12 touchdowns. That should be a major help for Mateer. Now, well, he needs to produce like that again to even see the light of day in the SEC, but I don't, I don't know that
He's a
offense.
bona fide stud, dude.
He
He'll
was,
be all
yeah,
right.
yeah. We'll see, we'll see. They
Let's
have a. I know he won't do shit week 6. He won't do shit over in Arlington. Um, they got a defensive back, Robert Spears Jennings, right? Senior, 66 total tackles, 43 of them being his. 5 tackle for losses, 2.5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, and 1 interception. So, I mean, pretty solid. Um, like you say, really can't ask for much more than that. The dude was making plays left and right. They have a linebacker, Kip Lewis, 65 total, 34 solos, 4 tackles for a loss, 2 interceptions, both of them for touchdowns, which I thought was crazy. But yeah, I mean, my number 11 team is them bitch ass Oklahoma Sooners.
Okay, well, my number 11, even with it as talented as a receiving core will be this year, I'm gonna have to go with Hugh Freeze's Auburn.
Oh,
Yeah, I know. I told you. I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. 5-7 last year, right? I am not a big fan of Jackson Arnold. Is that okay to say that?
yeah. I mean, he
I'm not
didn't
a
he
big
didn't
fan.
do much. He didn't do much.
He didn't do much, and I just, when I have a feeling about somebody, I'm pretty harsh about it sometimes. And I think this is where it kind of a little harsher, but this receiving core, Cam Coleman, 37 receptions, 598 yards, and 8 touchdowns. And then I have Jackson Arnold's stats from Oklahoma. We all know that. Junior, he had 1,400 yards, 12 touchdowns, 3 INTs. He ran for 150 attempts, 444 yards, and three touchdowns. He had a brutal SEC. Oh my goodness, I just lost my. That was fucked up there. My phone don't want me to talk about Auburn like this. I was saying he had nothing short of a brutal 2024 season at Oklahoma. He produced one of the worst numbers in the SEC. He played well. I will say the offensive line was pretty shitty last year. They did not help nothing. This dude fumbled a lot, in my opinion, too. Wasn't it Texas where he fumbled a lot? I don't remember. I don't really remember. I didn't watch too much Oklahoma games, but I remember they turned over the ball. It was
No,
ridiculous.
I don't think he was starting by that point.
Yeah, he was okay. Yeah, you're right. I don't remember whoever that was. Dude, that dude fumbled fuck ton too. That dude, yeah, it was not Jack
I
Arnold. You're
loved it.
right. Yeah, well, I wanted a good game, and that shit was lame
It
as
was a
shit.
good. It was a great game.
No, hell no. But I will say, if there was a place where he can, get better, Auburn is definitely the place. This receiver, like, listen, I put him low, but they can jump higher. If this receiving core and Jackson Arnold bolds well, I don't see it happening. I'm just not a fan of him, but maybe. I also wanted to talk about. Let's see. I have written down a lot of stuff. Tigers. I wanted to highlight also Georgia Tech transfer Eric Singleton Jr. He had 1,400 receiving yards since 2023 and the second most among Power 4 wide receivers. And his 664 receiving yards on deep throws is that stretch. Cam Coleman also, he was slotted, like I told you, he was slotted in the 6th on the list that this publisher made. He came out on the strong end of his true freshman season. The former top 5 recruit led the nation with 6 receiving touchdowns to rack up the 6th most receiving yards, 306 yards, across the final 3 weeks of the regular season. So I would expect a lot coming from Coleman. And Auburn also has 3 other intriguing second-year receivers. We have Perry Thompson, Bryce Kane, and Wake Forest transfer Horatio Fields, and also Malcolm Simmons. So this receiving core is going to be something to look for in the SEC, but they're going to be playing tons of great defenses, so we're going to watch that. I also kind of wanted to highlight Anquan Fagans as safety. He is a freshman. He is only behind the only transfer. He is projected as starter on defense as well. And then I also wanted to talk about free safety Matthews Jacoby. And that is my number 11, Auburn. Who knows? They might jump up. I get my hatred for Jackson Arnold might be a little too high on this one. Who knows?
Give me 1 second. I forgot to put a
Oh, you're good, dude.
position.
Yeah. You put the position real quick. I will say, I kind of butchered a lot of this reading here. So if that didn't make sense, I'm sorry. I thought I read it correctly. I tried to skim over it as best I could. It didn't do the best, but who knows?
Or what, 10?
Yeah, we are at 10.
Let me get to my.
Oklahoma that low, dude. That's messed up, bro. After all they did.
Fuck those guys, dude. As a matter of fact, it's 12-17 and they still suck. Moving on. My number 10 team I have And I've been thinking about this one, and I do not like it because they're kind of starting to grow on me a little bit. I do have Tennessee.
Oh my God. Wait, time out. Repeat that again. Who's your number 10?
Tennessee. 10.
Get the pitchforks. Get the pitchforks, boys.
So what I did is I wasn't too fond of Joey Aguilar. I wasn't really rocking with what they had going on. But the more I keep thinking about it, I'm like, I kind of like that Joey Aguilar kid. So just know I am sorry. I do wish I could change it, but I'm gonna be with Evan, and I'm just gonna go ahead and stick to my guns, guys. Um, so Joey Aguilar, senior, 6'3", threw for 3,000 yards, 23 touchdowns to 14 interceptions. He will have to clean that up. Um, I do think he can do more than Nico, more than what Nico did there. I feel like Nico was kind of a disappointment out there. He was hyped up to be the next big thing, and then just didn't produce jack squat really. I think they were kind of lucky to have snuck into the playoffs there. They do have a cornerback, Jermond McCoy, 44 total tackles, 26 solos with 4 interceptions. So that's a really bright spot on the defense. They did lose a lot on the defense. They had a pretty fucking nasty defense last year. I think they lost a lot of production there. They also have a Aaryn Carter, linebacker, 68 total tackles, 29 solos, 6.5 tackle for losses with 1 interception. Um, I don't know what I was thinking putting them at 10, but there's my number 10 team right there.
That is ridiculous, dude. You know what? I don't really like to question what you do until that one. But fuck it, I'm insane too. My number 10 is Tennessee. Um, I, also,
Way to
I
Pat
will
McAfee
say,
that shit. Way to Pat
yeah,
McAfee that shit.
man,
Oh,
you
fuck,
know,
man.
like you said, dude, I think we might have a little bit of regret here, but I'm just so high on the other teams above Tennessee. It's tough. I get it. We're not experts. Let's get that out there now. But Aaron's right. I don't evaluate quarterbacks as well as he does. But I also have Joey Aguilar written down from UCLA. The whole Nico situation has kind of just put a little bit of
A
a
stain
sour
on him,
taste.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's weird. I liked how they handled it. It is their fault, honestly, because they were the ones that
Didn't want to pay him money he wasn't worth.
No, I'm just saying you got him in the first place. Like you brought the problem in, but you did the right thing. It sucks. I don't know. I just feel like the whole offseason has been a juggle. But they were 10-3 last year. They were third in offense and second in defense. Like you said, this defense took a huge step forward last year, but they lost a lot. On the offensive side of the ball, I wanted to talk about David Sanders Jr., an offensive tackle. He in 2024, he was a Max Preps All-American, got snaps on both sides of the ball as a senior. Um, he's a freshman. Did I highlight that? A freshman projected starter, offensive tackle. Forgot to say that. Um, he played for Providence Day. He also played at an NCISAA Division I championship, graded as a 93% as a blocker and did not allow a single sack. Defensively, he was also credited with 46 tackles, 11 tackles for losses, 16 quarterback hurries, and 3 sacks. If you will listen to the other 3 podcasts of the other conferences, I didn't really write down freshmen, but SEC's got some big old freshmen. Holy shit, it was like fun to pick these guys out and see what they did in high school, you know what I'm saying? So that's going to be one of my guys to watch out. He might be one of the best offensive tackles as he progresses in his career. Also on the defensive side, Joshua Joseph, D end, 17 solo tackles, 39 total tackles, 1.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles. Damn, 3 forced fumbles? I'm going to call that Peanut Joseph. Sorry, that was stupid. He had 9 tackles for losses, 8 quarterback hurries, and 3 pass deflections.
Fuck
I
does
had
that
to,
even mean?
You know, Peanut Tillman, Chicago Bear, punched the shit out of
Oh
fucking
my
balls. You
god.
know what I'm talking. I try to, my bad guys. My bad guys. If you made it this far, I apologize.
If you made it this far. Real high hopes of Evan. We're only at number 10. We're only
That-
6 teams deep.
okay, my bad. I wanted to highlight also Jared McCoy. You already talked about it, so we can skip that. But now on to a couple of their weaknesses. The passing game last year, super inconsistent. We all know who that was headlined by. Everybody should know his name now. It was a
Nico,
huge.
I'm a leaving.
Exactly. That was one of the most glaring issues for Tennessee. And then also, like I said earlier, the defensive turnaround last year, they took a huge step forward in 2024, and they established as one of the best SEC defenders, defensive teams. Also, not just the SEC, just throughout the whole country. Um, they made the vast improvement to stop the run, which was one of Tim Banks' major points, was trying to stop the run, and I think he did that really good. I also wanted to highlight they had no transfers on defense that are projected starters. So you're getting people that have been in the program. This is why I wanted to kind of. It sucks having them at 10, knowing their defense are guys that have been in the program. So I'm sorry, as well as Aaryn said, we're both insane, but we are brothers. That's gonna be my number 10.
So my number 9, I'm a little higher on him than you. I got Auburn. Um, I kind of like Jackson Arnold. I don't think it was necessarily him. It was more where he was. I'm not gonna hit on him too hard. Uh, what?
Man, just Oklahoma's getting fucking shat on, dude.
It's 12-24 and they
You,
still suck. All right, I don't give a shit. Think I give a fuck about their feelings? Anyway,
it's
Jackson
up.
Arnold. Uh, you already hit him a little bit, so I'll just I'll leave it with the. I think he's in a better position to play better. Um, he's got the Auburn offense with Hugh Freeze. Just about any offense. I mean, this is not a shot at OU. This is a shot at Brent Venables. Dude is not an offensive mind. I mean, that is a defensive mastermind. So I think now that this dude is under an offensive coach, he should play better, I guess. You also hit my receiver, Eric Singleton Jr. So I'll leave that be. But you didn't hit my cornerback, Kayan Lee. Kayan Lee is what we're going to say. Um, 32 tackles, 29 solos, 2 interceptions. Not bad, not bad. I like he's not getting too many tackles. I do like that. Then you have Keldrick Falk, defensive end, had 45 total, 29 of them being solos. 7 sacks, 11 tackle for losses, and 1 forced fumble. I mean, they have some guys on this team. They just need to get a season put together, and I think this might be a year where they can possibly do it. Um, and but yeah, number 9, Auburn.
Man, my number 9. It hurts to put this team so low after I've been so high on them in the offseason. It's going to be Oklahoma as my number 9. They have one of my favorite quarterbacks in the country.
It's 12-26 and they still suck. By the way,
We're gonna mute him. Leave him
fuck
alone,
'em.
damn it. No, they were 6-7 last year. Down year for Oklahoma, we already know that. 14th in offense, 6th in defense. They had a terrible offensive line last year. Jackson Arnold was in the best position, like Aaryn said, and then you had the backup quarterback play terribly. Also lost to, was it Army in the bowl game?
I hope so.
I definitely got that wrong in the bowl pick'em. I thought Sooners were gonna get a dub, and they did not. So we already know they struggled. Okay, so here we go. Wrote this down in my notes. The Sooners are looking for a bounce back season. That is their second losing season in 3 seasons. OU has a new coordinators on both sides of the ball. Offensive coordinator Ben Arbuckle leads the offense with newcomers John Mateer. That was his name, Ben Arbuckle, and Jaden Ott, which I'm actually a big fan of. They have a whole host of new receiving options as well, so they bolstered up that receiving room. And then on defense, your boy Brett Venables is taking over the play calling duties. That's perfect. That's what you want. So you're getting a defensive mastermind
I want
to coach the
another
defense.
55 nothing blowout.
Wow. And the Sooners are also replacing three different stalwarts. Danny Stutzman, wasn't that the guy that wore the Texas shirt or whatever the hell? I forgot. He wore a shirt.
He
He
wore
was
the
like pregame.
Yeah,
What was it?
he wore the hat after he beat us. He wore the cowboy hat,
Yeah.
horns down, smoking a cigar. That
Yeah.
piece of shit. Fucking good with
Yeah,
that piece of
it was a
shit.
pregame.
God, that dude
It
was
was a,
good.
it was a pregame though. They were showing it, and then they play like fucking shit. You're like, well, damn, all that talk for this? That's fucked up. And then Billy Bowman Jr. and Ethan Downs. But offensively, John Mateer. Oh, I hope this dude works out. I'm a big fan of John Mateer. This dude comes from Washington State. Washington State's been known. I don't know if y'all know, but they've been known to produce these kind of guys. This dude, Aaryn already. Did you already go to the stats, right? John Mateer.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I wanted to highlight 826 rushing yards. He led Washington State in rushing yards, so that's really ridiculous with 15 touchdowns. That guy's a dog. And Jaden Ott, California's going to miss you so much. I hope he transitions well in the SEC. I think he will, personally. You got a 1-2 punch on this offense. I think they're going to be really tough. But the only thing that drags him down is the damn schedule. What the fuck, SEC? Why the hell did you do this to Oklahoma? I wanted to put them higher than I looked. I was like, God damn. I was fighting for fucking wins. Fuck you, dude.
Could have done it. Could have
I'm
just
not
done
even an
it
Oklahoma
better.
fan. I was just rooting for him. Also, I just want to say thank you for Marvin Mims. That's all I got to say. Defense for Bronco fans out there. Marvin Jones Jr. Kind of sounded like Maurice Jones Jr. for me a little bit. He had 10 solo, 25 total tackles, 4 sacks,
Reese
1 forced fumble.
Jones.
What a dog.
What a name.
3 quarterback hurries. And then we got Robert Spears Jennings. He's a safety, by the way, senior. 43 solo tackles.
Maurice Jones Jr., is that what you said? You mean Maurice Jones Drew? I was like, wait a minute, that ain't the right name right there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not as bad as OU though. You know.
Damn, dude, how do you, fuck, dude? How do you know how OU speaks, bro? Damn, this hatred is getting ridiculous. We're going to have to sit, oh, God. I'm sorry, OU fans.
They know. They know. They know. Just like they're on their little telephone going, fuck this guy. Fuck this piece of shit. Horns down.
Oh, time out. Let me finish this guy first. 5 tackles for losses, 2.5 sacks, 13 transfers on offense, and 2 on defense. And I am going to say this. Oklahoma is going to have a very mad Texas team because a week prior, Texas will fall to Florida. So they're going to be very pissed, and they might whoop some ass. And I was rooting for Oklahoma to beat Texas, but I don't think Texas is going to lose 2 in a row. So that's my number 9. What? You're not losing to Florida?
We're just gonna leave that be. We're gonna leave that alone. Cause at my number 8, I have fucking Florida, and they definitely ain't beating no goddamn Texas. And you'd be lucky if DJ Lagway's even healthy. You'll be lucky You'll be lucky if Billy Napier's even there by the time they play Texas. When do they play Texas? Week 5, week 4? Yeah, you'll be lucky. You'll be lucky if Billy Napier's even there. All right. So. No. But, speaking of DJ Lagway, fucking love that guy, dude. Fucking love that guy.
You would think he's going on a fucking hate trip there, but
No,
I
dude.
love that dude.
Yeah, he's dynamic as shit, dude. I mean, got hurt. I mean, that's his MO, though. You know, there's his issues. He's getting hurt. As a matter of fact, they're in training camp right now, and guess what? He got banged up again. So we'll see how healthy he is coming into this year. He might be one of the big what ifs of college football. It's kind of what it's starting to look like.
Sounds like damn Daniels from fucking Kansas.
Jaden
Can y'all get
Daniels,
your
yeah.
yeah,
Jalen, Jalen Daniels,
Jalen,
Jalen.
yeah. Y'all get y'all shit together, all right? Both of
Yeah.
y'all. I want to see y'all play.
I mean, he threw for 2,000 yards, 12 TDs to 9 interceptions. I mean, the TD to INT ratio is not pretty, but granted, he was a freshman, so shit happens. You make bad decisions. Athletic freak is what I put down, but like I said, he cannot stay healthy. That's his issue. He does have a tight end, Hayden Hansen. Sorry, I didn't know if that was an A or an O. Hayden Hansen, motherfucker's 6'7", 6'7", 271 pounds, 200 yards, 1 TD. Monster of a man is what I put down. Um, Obviously more of a blocking tight end, but I'll say it like I said. I forgot who it was. Why the fuck are we not just throwing that man the football? Red zone situations. Why are we not just throwing it to the 6'7", 271 freak? That's what I'm doing. Fuck it if he's got bad hands. He ain't gonna be contested. Just throw it high. You know? So they got that. Defensive tackle, Caleb Banks. 21 total, 10 solo, 4.5 sacks, seven tackle for a loss, 2 forced fumbles. Pretty good stuff right there. But then they also have this kid right here that is named Tyreek Sapp, defensive end. 47 total, 20 solos. Right, he had seven sacks for 13 tackle for losses and 2 forced fumbles. He's looking like probably their best option on the defense. Um, Although I just don't think that they're going to do too hot. I mean, they got LSU, at Miami, home for Texas, at A&M, home for Georgia, at Ole Miss, and Tennessee. And depending if how Florida State is, they also got Florida State. I mean, I am not very high on Florida State, but if they're good, you got Florida State to deal with too. So I mean, their schedule is going to be a bit of a challenge. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 to 8 possible ass beatings they could be taking. Um, so we'll see. That's why I have them down at number 8, though.
My number 8 will also be Florida. I love this team as well. It's one of those teams you want to root for. You look at the schedule, it's a slaughterhouse there. But I will say, it will not surprise me if Florida comes out on top in a lot of them. I love this offensive line. They're one of the best offensive line groups in the league or in the NCAA, whatever you want to call it, in it. The Gators had the third highest graded offensive line in the Power 4 in 2024, 85.9 per Pro Football Focus. They brought back 5 of the 6 players who played at least 300 snaps for them. Jake Slaughter was also one I wanted to mention. He's one of the best returning interior offensive linemen in this sport. He was the only Power 4 center who earned 80.0 plus grades as both a pass blocker and a run blocker. You want to do the center that's dynamic. Centers are one of the smartest people on the football field, and it's one of the hardest positions on the line as well, because you got to snap and get your hands up because you got big dudes coming right after you, and you're telling me you're the best at running and pass blocking. That is amazing. That's what you want. Jake Slaughter, big thumbs up for you, man. I also want to talk about left tackle Austin Barber. He also generated first-round buzz last year. He only surrendered 5 pressures on 107 true pass sets last season. At another, a guard, which will once again be Kanaje Harris, whatever, and Damian George Jr. You're getting vetted offensive line group. That is fantastic for Florida. So if you're going to win these close games, you're going to need the offensive line to be as they were last year, and I expect Florida to be this way. I am a little nervous about DJ Lagway, like Aaryn said, with the injuries. It's going to be a little tough. They also, redshirt sophomore Bryce Lovett is also the new starting right tackle for the Florida Gators team. He's tied for seventh among SEC guards last year. Florida as a collective with 73.3 per Pro Football Focus grade on a healthy 362 snaps. All this was by Pro Football Focus. And also DJ Lagway was the nation's number one quarterback prospect in 2024. He's been having a lot of injuries lately. He will be a Heisman candidate if he can stay healthy. He has some shoulder soreness, like Aaryn said, which prevented him from throwing this spring. A little nerve-wracking if you are already injury-prone and you're already out of spring practice. But DJ Lagway is a guy I want to mention. If the guy stays healthy, they will be really close to the top in the SEC. This is a dynamic team, and it's hard not to root for him. But you just got to say it like it is. If the injury is usually a thing, you got to go with it.
Got to account for it, yeah.
Exactly. And so, honestly, everybody else you mentioned, I just really wanted to talk about how amazing this offensive line group that they have. So, if they can stick together, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to stop them. And that's my number 18. I wish they were higher. What are we doing?
We're getting the pitchforks ready. Because I got a fan base that's going to be coming for my head. I'm about family threatened and hate mail sent my way. Because my number 7 team, I gotta say, I'm not necessarily understanding the hype. South Carolina. I'm not necessarily understanding the... Shut the fuck up. I'm not understanding the hype behind this team. I mean, Lenore Sellers is an absolute athletic freak. Yes. I will give you that. But y'all are sitting here acting like this man was the greatest thing that ever graced college football. He had 6 good games. Scratch that. He had 6 good rushing games. And now we're going to worship the ground he walks on? Like, no. How did he do the first 6 games? Let me tell you. 2,500 yards for 18 TDs and 7 interceptions. Nothing crazy. Nothing insane. Back in 674 rushing yards to 7 rushing TDs. Yeah, that's pretty good. You think people ain't going to key in on that? You better hope that motherfucker can throw the ball. Because people are going to start locking in on his legs. They're going to make sure he can't run. I mean, you also... let's look at the schedule. You got home at Virginia Tech. You got Missouri, at LSU, OU, Bama, at Ole Miss, at A&M, and Clemson. I mean, that's not a very good schedule for you. I will give you do have Dylan Stewart, who could be one of the best defensive players in the nation. 23 total tackles, 17 solos, 10.5 tackle for losses, 6.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles. I got nothing there. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and try and talk trash on somebody who's well deserved his flowers. And I do want to be wrong on Lenore Sellers, but how do we know he didn't just catch, lightning in a bottle the last 6 games of the season? You know what I mean? We'll see. I'm just not super high on these guys. They do have Jalen Kilgore. Love that name. Just like Slaughter. Loved that name. Such football names. I love football names.
Did you have a Kilgore in the ACC?
I did, yeah. SMU. Anyway, this dude's he's a safety, 48 tackles, 31 solos, 3 tackle for losses, 5 interceptions. So getting the ball. Other than that, though, yeah, I'm not understanding the hype behind South Carolina. I mean, I'm not gonna diss them. That's why I have them at 7 and not further down, because I do still think that they're a pretty good team. I just don't think that they are a top 5 to 3. I mean, they can fuck around and get 5, I guess. They're not a top 3 in the conference. I don't think Lenore Sellers is Heisman favorite that everybody seems to think he is after 6 games. So yeah, my number 7 team is South Carolina.
Shane Beamer.
I love me some Beamer ball.
I'm a big fan. He is only 4 years into his coaching career. So he's trending up though every year. But I'm going to have to agree with you. My number 7 is South Carolina. And I honestly don't think that's too much of a what's it called, a diss, as you would say. Because I mean, the teams above you, they're going to be really damn good. Like you're in this already elite conference, and you're already on the top half.
And that's
And
gonna
like
be
Aaryn said,
you're talking top dogs above you, yeah.
exactly. So I could see you getting to 5 or something like that, moving 2 spots, but it's not that much of a difference there. SEC, it comes down to these one games, and it might just be head-to-head games that we have picked above you. So I remember I changed something, and a number 10 team went down all the way up to a number 4 team. You know what I'm saying? So like they're super close. I'm a little worried about you've already talked about everybody, so I'm just gonna do a little quick summary.
Quick assessment.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about they were fourth in defense last year, but they're losing a lot of their guys. They're losing Nagasaki Trophy winner Kyle Kernard is gone as well, along with safety Nick Emorari. Both starting linebackers are gone, so you're losing, the damn brains of the whole operation. And 3 of their 4 starters on the defensive front is also gone. So you're losing a ton of production on the defensive side. I don't know if you're going to get to the 4th best defense again. And also, like you said, that schedule is brutal. You're not going to get the best of Clemson this year, I don't think. I think Clemson's got it this year. You beat them 17-14, I think, last year. It was a close game, but I don't think it's going to happen. Um, the first 3 games, though, of your conference is definitely.
I thought they lost to Clemson.
No, I think they won, dude.
No,
Did
you're
they?
right. No, you're right. No, you're right. You're right. Because Clemson
Yeah.
snuck in,
So
and I was confused, and I was like, well, fucking South Carolina's not even ACC. That's what it was. Yeah, you're right.
yeah. So their 3 first conference games, I think, is definitely a dub. Vanderbilt, Missouri, and Kentucky. But after that, like Aaron said, you are playing Oklahoma, Alabama, Ole Miss, A&M. Tough. And I can honestly see Oklahoma. That's a team you still don't want to play at the end of the year. You don't know how they're going to bolt. So I'm just I'm still rooting for them. Like Aaron said, number 7 is pretty like not generous, because like I agree you should be there, but it's not bad for being in the SEC and you got the top dogs ahead of you. That's my number 7 team. So I totally agree with you, Aaron, with your whole assessment there about South Carolina. And also, I'm also a big Shane Beamer fan. I am rooting for him. So if he gets higher,
Good for
cool
him,
by
yeah.
me. Yeah.
Well, my number 16 is the second worst team ever created in the history of college football. And it's the,
Yeah.
oh, fuck them. All right. Stupid goddamn bastards, hate them. Texas A&M. Let's just get into this shit. Marcel Reed, right? Sure, he's cute. Almost threw for 2,000 yards, 15 TDs to 6 interceptions. He did have 5,500 rushing yards, 7 rushing TDs, which is pretty good. He's an explosive player who should only get better. Um, I do really like Marcel Reed. I we'll see if he takes a step up or if he takes a sophomore slump. We will see. They do have a guy, I will say, that I really was hoping Texas got, but he ended up committing to A&M for some reason. This man, I watched him in the state championship. I watched him produce the longest pass in state history, a 97-yarder. I watched him then turn around and have the longest run in state history with a 93-yarder, right? Terry Bussey, absolute dog, great potential. At the state championship, he had 466 total yards. That's crazy. I want to say half of it was running. Absolutely insane. 6 TDs, 4 passing, 2 rushing. Yeah, I mean, dude was just lighting it up that state game. And I think it was 2A, which is nothing crazy, but it's still like, you're doing that in the state of Texas, you're doing something right. He has a lot of potential. I think they do, because I was looking up his stats, and I saw some defensive, nothing under their stats, but like, it was like TFLs, pass breakups, and they were blank, but I was like, are they Are they trying to Travis Hunter this man and trying to have him play both ways? Because that'd be kind of crazy. He did play quarterback in high school. He plays receiver now. But I do say watch out for him. He could be a stud. Moving on to their defense, I got Taron York, linebacker, junior, 82 total tackles, 35 solos, 9 tackle for losses, 2.5 sacks, 1 interception. I mean, pretty good numbers, stuff you'd want to see from your linebacker. I got nothing really much to hound there. You got Will Lee, the third cornerback, 42 total tackles, 39 solo, 1 forced fumble, 2 interceptions, 1 TD. Once again, solid stats, stuff you really want to see on your defense. I did write down, I do have like a little note right here. One says, fuck them. So, well, there's that. But the other one is, hold on. I just saw the future. They're going 8-4. So yeah, my number 16, A&M.
Man, I feel like I'm copying your homework. My number 16 is going to be A&M. So Aaryn honestly talked a lot about it. I got 2 players that I want to, emphasize, but there's also something that I want to address. They were 8-5 last year. And so they're going to go 8-5 again. Just want to point that out there. A&M arguably has the best offensive line in the SEC. Here is another offensive line that is worth mentioning. Just like Florida, this team is going to be electric on the offensive line. It's going to be fun to watch in the trenches. The Aggies have one of the most experienced offensive lines in college football. That is hard to get. That is something you want to have. You want the offensive line group to be as experienced as it has been. You just want it to be the best thing ever. You want these guys to come through your program and understand what we're trying to run, what the tradition is. And boy knows A&M's got a lot of tradition. I might not agree with almost half of it, but they got tradition there. Aaryn loves their thing they do before a game. As all 6 players who's played at least 300 snaps in 2024 are back for another year. So you got 5 guys back and then another guy as depth piece. That's perfect. The star of the bunch is Amarj Reed Adams. He is the best guard in college football. He was second among Power 4 guards in overall grade, run blocking grade. He is also in PFF wins above average metric last season. So, I mean, that dude's a dog. Reed Adams is someone you need to watch for. He's one of the best in the country. Sorry about that. The only players who bested him in those metrics was Willie Lampkin, who is now with the Los Angeles Rams. So that guy is a dog. Also, Trey Zun III and Demetrius Crownover are the 2 starting tackles for the Aggies. There are some dogs as well. Chase, I'm not even going to try his last name, but Chase is a starting left guard and tied for 8th in the SEC with a 71.8 run blocking grade a year ago. Also, the center, I know y'all guys know his name. I'm not familiar. Kalunu, is back at center and only allowed 1 sack on 381 pass blocking snaps last year. And their quarterback situation wasn't the best last year, and he only had 1 sack gave up on the center. The center is one of the most important pieces. That and, the opposite side's tackle, that's facing the blind side of the quarterback is also one of the most important pieces in the offensive line. Those guys are really important. So if you got a center that is back for another year, you got one of the most experienced lines in college football. It is going to be fun to watch. Marcel Reed was something that Aaryn already talked about. He's got to fix a little bit of his stats there. And then the running back room was something I wanted to highlight. Highlighted by Le'Veon Moss. He had 121 attempts, 765 yards, and 10 touchdowns. But his backups are also amazing. You got Reuben Owens, Amari Daniels, and E.J. Smith. Those guys you need to watch out for. This running back room is going to be dynamic. You're going to have a lot of subs. And with this offensive line, it's going to be dangerous. And that's all I got because you got my defense. But yeah, A&M is going to be a tough team.
My number 5 team, I got Ole Miss. And I want a breakout player alert right now. Yeah.
Damn,
All right.
we need a
Austin,
Gridiron Boys jingle. Sorry.
Austin Simmons, their quarterback, right? He's only a sophomore, 6'4", 215. This man reclassified as a sophomore in high school to go ahead and come to Ole Miss.
I
So,
didn't know that.
yeah. So that's how good that's how talented this kid is, right? Great size, great football IQ. I wrote down right here, great breakout player. He does not have many stats. Obviously, he didn't play much behind Jackson Dart and Matt Corral. Um, so, but I'm telling you right now, you watch this kid. This kid is going to, I think, be electric, light up the field, and I think he'll end up being better than Jackson Dart. Um, only time will tell. I can have predictions, damn it. Especially when he's got a guy like Caden Lee to throw the ball to, who's a junior, had 874 yards, 2 touchdowns, big target for Simmons. I mean, is gonna have to be his guy. I hear their connection is pretty good in training camp, so I can't wait to see that on the field. Defensively, they got Xavier Harris, defensive tackle, 6'7", 230 pounds, scary. 32 total tackles, 13 solos, 4.5 tackle for losses, 1.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble. So, I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty good for a defensive tackle. Then they got Suntrain Perkins. Somebody tell me how to say his first name. Suntarian.
Asking the audience.
Suntarian. The chat we don't have, bro. Can you tell me how to pronounce it? Help!
We do want to try live streaming one time. Just to let you know.
One day in our life. Anyway, 60 total tackles, 32 solos, 14 tackle for losses, 10.5 sacks, 1 interception. I mean, this man is a beast, and I expect him to do it again this year. And I'm really high on Ole Miss. I do expect them. They could even, I think, surprise and try and get a shot at the SEC championship. So we will see.
Close last year. Well, fuck. My number 5 is Ole Miss. 10-3 last year, and I want to preface this. 3rd in defense last year, 1st in offense, and I will say this: they will be number 1 again in offense. I'm sorry, they're going to be number 1. The reason why is I have decided to delete every defensive player on my my notebook and add just offense.
Okay.
So I will tell you why. Ole Miss is coming off its 3rd 10-win season in 4 years. But 14 starters from the Rebels, Gator Bowl wins, are gone. The 2025 Rebels, they don't lack talent, especially on that receiving core. Damn, that shit's crazy. And like Aaryn said, he's a big fan of that quarterback. And will he be better than Jackson Dart? Only time will tell, just like Aaryn says. But this, I just wanted to highlight, like, this season is going to really depend on how well these new pieces fit in and fill the shoes of these old guys that are heading out. Like Aaryn said, Austin Simmons, that's the guy that he's going to have to replace Jackson Dart with all his, his stats. He's going to have big shoes to fill, but maybe he can do it. The offensive line is also going a whole new makeover. You got 4 new starters. That's something that's a little worrisome for me, having 4 new starters. But you never know. Maybe it can bode well, especially with this offensive line. If this quarterback can get the ball out quickly, offensive line is going to be thankful for that. Ole Miss also had the number 2 scoring defenses in college football last season. And the big reason for that is they had one of the best defensive line in the nation. Because, like, when I think of Ole Miss, I think of offense. I don't really think about the D-line, but they had one of the best last year.
I thought you were about to say defenses, and I was like, Patrick Willis. I remember that man.
Yeah, 49ers, man. Fuck. Yeah, that dude was a dog, yeah. Um, I want to highlight Walter Nolan, JJ Pughes, Princely something, and Jared Ivey and Satrain Perkins. It's crazy names, but that D line is going to be great as well. They have tons of transfers as well, but just how it happens. Lane Kiffin ain't afraid. Okay, so let's start off with Damian Taylor. Tell me if you told me about anybody. Running back. He had 173 attempts, 1,010 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Okay, let's move on to another receiver. Deshaun Stribling, receiver, right? Redshirt senior, 6'2", 200 pounds. Transfers from Oklahoma State. He had 52 receptions, 882 yards, and 6 touchdowns. How about we go to another receiver, Harrison Wallace III? He's transferring from Penn State. He had 46 receptions, 720 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Caden Lee, you've already talked about it. He had 874 yards. That is 3 receivers above 700 yards. And I also wanted to highlight Traylon Ray. He had 426 yards. He transferred from West Virginia. And also, I did want to highlight before we go over to the tight end, I wanted to highlight left tackle Diego Pounds. So watch that guy. Also, Ole Miss, they might have one of the best tight end rooms also in college football, thanks to Luke Hans and Daquan Wright. Hans transferred from Arkansas. He, also, according, I think it's to Pro Football Focus, he was ranked this guy's 10th tight end in the nation. And Wright had a 75.8 Pro Football Focus grade, receiving grade since 2023. That ranks 4th among the returning power forward tight ends. So you have a 1-2 punch in the tight end room. You have one of the best receiving cores in the country. And it's really all up to us, Austin. You're in a perfect place to get going. This is going to be the number 1 ranked offense in my opinion. I think Austin Simmons is going to do well, but these guys above you, dude. These next 4 above you is going to be really tough to, overtake them in the rankings. So that's going to be my number 5, Ole Miss. Let's see if like from from 8 to 1, did we have the same order? That would be ridiculous. But let's see. Who is
My
his number
number
4?
14, I think we are going to be the same here, is Alabama. I don't know how I feel about it. I kind of want them a little lower. But we're going to stick to our guns because they do have this one absolute stud sophomore, Ryan Williams, 18-year-old absolute monster, 48 receptions for 865 yards and 8 touchdowns, one of the best in the nation already. I mean, behind, I don't know, some other 18-year-old, Jeremiah Smith. That 2 absolute beasts of the game it should be an absolute privilege that we get to watch these guys. You should really soak it in and don't try and talk shit on these guys. You should just watch them be great. Hard not to love that guy. He puts in the work. He does it. They have a bit of a quarterback competition going on right now, so I didn't put one down. You got another receiver, Isaiah Horton, who's 6'4", 56 receptions for 616 yards and 5 TDs. Great size. Should help Ryan Williams. I mean, I doubt you want a 6'4" guy one-on-one with your corner. Like I said, I'm reading this down right now, and I don't know how I feel about them being number 4. You got Bray Hubbard, defensive back, 57 total tackles, 35 solo with 1 forced fumble and 3 interceptions. I don't have anybody else written down. I wish I did. I probably should have done a little more work there. But yeah, that's my number 14.
Really?
Yeah.
Your number 4. Well, I was trying to look at. I didn't write down these guys on my stats, like what position they play. So I really wanted to see where these guys were. But Aaron, this is actually going to be the first time in a while that we kind of broke our little streak.
Hold on,
My
hold on, hold
number
on, hold on.
four.
Is it LSU?
Let's see. My number four is LSU. They were 9-4 last year. They're going to be highlighted by Garrett Nussmeier, which I'm going to let Aaron talk about it. He's been high on this guy for a little bit. I also wanted to highlight. Oh, actually, before I even get to the offense, they were 5th in offense, 11th in defense. So I just want something to make sure you know. 11th in defense, not the best when you're in the top ranked, but that's okay. He had Aaron Anderson, a receiver. He had 61 receptions, 884 yards, and 5 touchdowns. And also another part of this I wanted to highlight is this receiving core is going to be damn good.
Oh, can
It's
I
going to be
add
damn
something?
good.
Can I add something to Aaron?
Yeah, what's up?
Also ran a 4.3 4.40. It's pretty damn good 40.
I think that's really damn good. I got nowhere near a 4.3.
Yeah, dude. Smoking my ass, bro.
Yeah, I'm getting cooked. But I also wanted to highlight Barry Brown. I don't have his stats, and Nick Anderson as other guys in this receiving core that I'm really excited about. LSU is going to be dynamic in the offense. Garrett Nussmeier can win the Heisman, and if he does, it wouldn't surprise me at all. And then also Caden Durham, a running back. He is from Dallas, Texas, his high school. I wanted to highlight as well because Aaron loves highlighting these guys from Texas. Duncanville. He is
D-ville, dude.
5'9", and weighs 205 pounds. Defense. I got Whit Weeks. He was a linebacker. 61 solos, 125 total tackles, 3.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 1 INT, 10 tackles for losses, 6 quarterback hurries, and 3 pass deflection. This dude all over the field. He's almost a Nick Anderson from Wake Forest, I believe. Wasn't that Wake Forest?
Yeah, yeah.
ACC. That dude was a dog. This dude's right there with him, doing it at the SEC level. That's even better. This guy is a dog, and he's one of my favorites in all of the SEC defensively. Also, I wanted to highlight some of the struggles that they had. The running game. LSU did not stand out in the running game. They were fairly average last year. They were highlighted by true freshman Caden Durham. They still ranked at the bottom half of the SEC. Defensively, this team had some quality splash plays. However, it's not as consistent as they could be, and that's where I have them at 4. I want them to be higher, but the defense has an issue with consistency, and then when you're playing teams like Alabama and Oklahoma with how dynamic, and Ole Miss with how dynamic these offenses will be, I think it's going to be really tough for LSU to come out on top in all of them. So that's why I have them at 4.
So my number
So we
3
broke the
team.
streak.
Yeah, we broke it, huh? That's okay. Because my number 3 team is LSU. We'll save Garrett Nussmeier because I love the Garrett Nussmeier. Defensive back to Marcus Cooley. I mean, he's a sophomore, had 39 total tackles, 19 solos, 1 sack, 2.5 tackles for losses, 2 forced fumbles, and 3 interceptions. So where you're saying they're lacking on defense, I'm saying they got guys. And now they're going to be, a little more vetted. They're going to be a little more ready to go. And they need to because Brian Kelly is probably on the hot seat right now. So it is kind of a now or never season for him. They also have Mansour Delane at DB, 54 total tackles, 34 solos, 1 tackle for loss, 2 forced fumbles, and 4 interceptions. So they have guys. They do have these guys. They just need to put a season together, and I think they can under their commander-in-chief, Garrett Nussmeier, one of my Heisman favorites to win it. Senior, 6'2", 200 pounds, threw for 4,000 yards, 29 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. If he can drop that interception down, he is perfect. Absolute dog. I mean, man can throw the ball, slang the rock, spin a frozen rope. However you want to say it, he can do it. He can put it where he wants it. He can punish you for bad defense. He could punish you for good defense. The man is crazy good, and I am excited to see him go. But like I said, I have them at number three because they have to be number three. There is no ifs, ands, or but. Brian Kelly, if he is not at least flirting with a conference championship, I think he has entered the boiling seat. The shit ain't hot no more. So yeah, my number three team is LSU.
It's perfect time for them to take advantage
Uh-huh.
of what they got. I agree. My number three is going to be Georgia.
Heyo.
Yeah, I've heard some reports out of training camp that this rushing game isn't looking too hot right now, and they had a down year, respective to their. If it was any other team, I think they would have loved an 11-3 year. You know what I'm saying? But it was a down year compared to other previous Georgia teams. Um, they were 10th in offense, 8th in defense.
Hey, but first on the racetrack.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I ain't gonna talk about that. I'm gonna let you talk about them. Did you already talk about Georgia?
No.
No, you did not. Okay. Offense, I got Josh McCray. He was a running back, redshirt senior. He is going to be transferring from Illinois. He had 117 attempts, 609 yards, and 10 touchdowns. With Georgia adding McCray, this should allow Georgia to have more of a physical edge. So if they, because the rushing game, like I said, was a little down this year. He is a big running back. I don't have his height and weight on there, but he is huge, and he could be an excellent complement to Nate Frazier, a sophomore. So if they can get this 1-2 punch going, then I can see them moving up to 2, or maybe even 1. It's this is a well coached team as well. We already know that. He's the best coach in college football, in my opinion. It's just I after hearing all the reports, people say they're not really pleased with like the running this year again. So maybe it's something that's not going well for them, but who knows? I also want to talk about Zachariah Branch, a receiver. He's transferring from USC, so this guy knows. This guy knows the pass very well, especially over there with Lincoln Riley. He had 47 receptions, 503 yards, and 1 touchdown. Defensively, I'm going Christian Miller, a defensive tackle. He had 12 solos, which equaled out to 27 total tackles, 1.5 sacks, 3.5 tackles for losses, and 1 quarterback hurry. And also, I got Dalen Everett, a corner. Do you have this guy written down? Okay, because I was going to let you talk about it. This guy is an absolute stud. He had 45 solo tackles, 2 forced fumbles, 3 INTs, and 3 pass deflections. He also had 2 tackles for losses, 1 sack, and 1 quarterback hurry, which is really amazing. This guy is a lockdown guy, so don't throw it to Everett's way. He is going somewhere you don't want it to be, but it's going. Also, I wrote down some of my notes. The rushing game, I've already talked about it a lot. A lot of room for improvement there. There we go. Georgia's rushing attack only netted 2,034 yards for the season, but opponents managed to gain 2,216 rushing yards against them, so they've already had a net loss there. It shows that the Georgia's defense also struggled at times stopping the run, and offensively they didn't always assert themselves in the ground, so they were struggling stopping the run and creating the run on both sides. So that is why I have them 3. They're not top 2 in my opinion, just because of the inconsistencies on the D line and sometimes in the offensive line in the run game. That's why I got Georgia my number 3.
So I have Georgia at my number 2. And you can say they're inconsistencies, but I say their coach is still goddamn Kirby Smart. So, gonna be somewhere. They have a new quarterback under the helm, Gunnar Stockton, junior, 6'1", 215, 450 passing yards for 1 TD, 1 INT. Has some good potential. Boy is tough. I mean, tough. I watched us. I am convinced we knocked him out. I mean, you see him just kind of, you see him limp out whenever he gets hit. He gets up. What happens? Wins the ball game. Very next play. Fucking crazy. So super tough. Good potential. I think he's gonna do. He doesn't have to do crazy good, like you said. He has Zachariah Branch. He doesn't have to be just this world talent. Just give that man the ball. That man is so dynamic. Dog alert. What?
I totally forgot to say he might not be the most skilled, but by God, he has that locker room with him. That locker room is supporting the hell out of that guy.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, tough,
So,
tough
yeah.
guy. They have a linebacker, C.J. Allen, um, junior, 76 total tackles, 49 solos, 3 tackles for a loss, and 1 interception. So pretty good there. They also have a defensive back, KJ Bolden, sophomore. So as a freshman, he had 59 total tackles, 40 solos, 1 sack, 2 tackle for losses, 1 interception, and 1 forced fumble. So they still have their guys. So my number 2 team is the Georgia Convicts.
God damn. Number 2, I'm going to go Alabama here. I think they're going to get back into the conference championship. So, I think it's really exciting. Like you said, Ryan Williams. I'm not going to talk to him too much. You've already talked about that. I'm a big DeBoer believer. I know the first year you win 9 wins and your team wants 10, so the fans are already not happy over there. They expect greatness, and I think this year they'll get right back on the 10-win plus year. I wanted to talk about offensively. Jam Miller, running back, 145 yards or attempts, sorry, 668 yards and 7 touchdowns. I also want to talk about Richard Young, a redshirt sophomore running back too. I want you to watch out for the little 1-2 punch over there in the running back room in Alabama. And then also want to talk about Isaiah Horton, which will be the opposite side of Ryan Williams. He had 56 receptions, 616 yards, and 5 touchdowns. This receiving core is also going to be really good. When you have Ryan Williams leading the charge, it can't be that hard to, get to the top of the ranking. You just need a solid receiver too, and I think Isaiah Horton is that guy for Alabama. Defensively, I have Keon Sabb. He was a safety. He had 24 solo tackles, 2 INTs, and 4 pass deflections. So with safety Malachi Moore leaving for the draft, Sabb is actually returning from injury. He'll be in a good spot at the safety position. He spent 2 seasons with Michigan. He won the national championship before transferring to Alabama. He started the first 6 games, accumulated 24 tackles and all those that I mentioned. Now that he can return for a full season, I think it's time for him to show his true potential and show that he's going to be a hell of a safety for Alabama. I'm super excited for him. I'm also super excited for Dante Lawson, inside linebacker, redshirt senior. This is his time now. You're getting drafted next year. Let's go. 36 solo, which equaled out to 76 total tackles. 6.5 tackles for losses, 4 pass deflections, 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 1 INT. This guy is a dog, man. I'm super excited for this defense as well. I think DeBoer is going to get them right, and I think they're going to finish number 2 in the SEC.
All right. Bear with me. I'm probably about to start knocking some names off your list.
Can I just go? I have Texas number 1, and I'm done for the podcast because he's going to get everything. So I'm done. My number 1 is Texas.
Okay. Well, you might have a guy I don't have, maybe.
It's okay. I'm going to let you go.
All right. So my number 1 team is Texas. I actually did leave Arch Manning off the board for you, and now that I'm looking at it. Left him for you to talk about because I have plenty of other things to talk about. But since you're going to give me the floor, I don't have his stats with me.
I got it with you. I got it right now.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. And talk about some Arch.
Arch Manning. I really appreciate the Mannings. I love every Manning. Eli Manning, I love you for knocking the Patriots out. Peyton Manning, I love you the most. I just want to say, if he can live up to those guys, you've got a guy. I think the hype might be a little too much.
I agree.
The guy hasn't played
enough
as much. It's kind of like a Lenore Sellers and Aaryn's perspective.
I agree.
You need some more playing time before we start saying you're the best. But no, I'm super excited to watch another Manning play. I've never watched a Manning start from college because I wasn't alive when Peyton Manning was in college, or I don't remember when Eli Manning was in college. personally, but I was too young to watch it. So it's exciting to see Arch Manning, kind of watch another Manning in the family dynamic, get up there. And also, with me being a Bronco fan, we've been having a lot of Texans coming over here. PJ Locke and um, a safety, Brandon Jones. You got Malcolm Roach and the defensive tackle. It's been pretty fun to watch these Texas guy, and also newly drafted in the first round, Jahdae Barron. Thank you, Texas, for giving us all those good guys. But back to Texas individually, I think this team is going to be super good. They're my number one for a reason. It's not that hard. I think Sark also. There was talk about, is Texas back? They've been back. They're back. It's not a question. Texas is back. There's no denying it. They're fresh off their first back-to-back 12-win season since 2009. And do you know who the quarterback was in 2009 for Texas?
Oh, McCoy.
Exactly. So Texas is back. All I was saying when you were gone was thankful for Jahdae Barron and PJ Locke and Brandon Jones and Malcolm Roach for the transition to the NFL, and also how Texas is back. And that's all I've talked about. So you got the floor, dude. The mic is yours, dude.
Okay, so I completely agree with you that I'm not going to sit here and toot Arch Manning's horn until he shows something, but I'm going to toot Texas's because he doesn't have to be the greatest. With the weapons he has around him, let's talk about receiver DeAndre Moore Jr., right? Jr., 456 yards for 7 TDs, explosive playmaker. Should be our wide receiver one. We have Quintravion Wisner, running back, junior, 6 foot, right? 1,064 yards for 5 TDs. Big piece of the offense last year. But not only do we got him, guess who's back? The man, the myth, the legend, C.J. Baxter. He's back. He's going to be running wild. They're saying he's looking really good in training camp, super energetic, super bouncy, super twitchy. Can really get things going. Really like that running back room. Really like the receiver room. I only put DeAndre Moore. I mean, I could have went Ryan Wingo. Love me some Ryan Wingo. Defensively is where it gets fun. That's where Texas gets real scary. We have an absolute freak of nature, Anthony Hill Jr. I mean, he, as a sophomore, had 113 total tackles, 59 of them solos, 16 and a half tackle for losses, 8 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, 1 interception. I mean, what more can you ask from a linebacker? I mean, then who is he helping out? Oh, that's right, our defensive end, Colin Simmons, who is, as a freshman, all right, another freak athlete, as a freshman, 48 total tackles, 31 solo, 14 tackle for losses, 9 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, 1 interception. I mean, you want to talk about scary, all right? These two, you see them lined up one behind the other. Fuck that. I don't want none of that smoke, right? But then let's get into their secondary, right? You got Michael Taff, their safety, 78 total tackles, 40 solos, 5.5 tackles for losses, 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 2 interceptions. One of those interceptions sealed the deal and sent us to the semifinals last year. I also have a note that says look out for Malik Muhammad, our cornerback, number 4. I didn't write his stats because I ran out of paper. But he will be a really good corner. I think we are going to be a very good team. Yeah, I mean, if Arch Manning doesn't have to be the Heisman favorite that everybody thinks he is. As long as he plays his part, I mean, we should be natty bound. Knowing us, we'll find a way to fuck it up. We always do. But we're looking primed and ready to go. I mean, to me, the only 2 teams that could probably, let's see. Ohio State, we could drop it. We're not losing in the UTEP, Sam Houston. Florida, we could drop OU. No, we can't.
You're definitely going to be dropping to Florida.
Kentucky, no. Mississippi State, no. Vanderbilt, no. Georgia, we could lose. Arkansas and A&M, we could possibly drop it to. Doubt it, but You know, so I mean, I'm looking at our schedule. Our schedule's very manageable. It all depends on how the playoff shapes out. Um, yeah, I'm super high on us. Obviously, I'm not trying to be, a homer and I'm looking at that team and that is just a scary defense and an explosive offense. As long as Sark doesn't sit there and try and get cute and do a double motion receiver screen on 3rd and goal at the 1 yard line, I think we'll be okay. So, thank you for listening
There
to
we
my TED
go.
talk.
Hey, well, there we go. We completed the SEC in actually not that long compared to the others.
That was also
Pretty
it's
proud of us
also
there.
1:30 in the morning, so I think we were kind of rushing through that shit because I got work in the morning.
Yeah, fair enough. We still live lives, boys. And listen, we're going to be back with regular scheduled programming. Well, thank y'all for watching the SEC breakdown and predictions with Aaryn and Evan. We'll tune into next time. Follow us in everywhere. We gotta go to
All of it,
bed.
all of it. Peace.
See y'all.
Doing pretty good, thanks for asking. Thanks for asking. Hey, I said I'm doing pretty good, thanks for asking. Thanks for asking. Hey. Okay, well, I just blew the fuck out of my headphones. I know what I mean, man.